Hello and welcome to Granada Reports. We are live across the northwest.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on tonight's programme.
It's knocked us all for six, but obviously we're just trying to be there for each other at the minute, and the outpour of support from absolutely everyone's been amazing.
In his first interview, Ricky Hatton's son speaks of the family's heartbreak at his father's sudden death.
Campbell Hatton called on all Ricky's fans to join them in celebrating his life and achievements on the day of the funeral. We'll have all the details.
Also on the programme.
Finally, justice catches up with the grooming gang who targeted two vulnerable girls in Rochdale.
Vying for votes, Manchester MP Lucy Powell says she'll put the North West at the top table if she's elected Deputy Leader of the Labour Party.
Bringing nostalgia for the noughties as the Hollywood hit 13 Going on 30 arrives on the stage here in the North West.
And it's been a fine, dry and settled day today, but we do have a change on the way on Friday with the arrival of Storm Amy. I'll have all of the details later with the forecast.
So please do stay with us for all of that. But first tonight, so the family of Ricky Hatton coming to terms with his death at the age of just 46.
Yeah, the former boxing world champion and father of three was found dead at his home in Hyde in Greater Manchester last month.
Well, tonight in an exclusive interview, Ricky's son Campbell speaks of the heartbreaking loss for his family, shares memories of his dad and thanks the millions of people who've paid tributes.
Yeah, Campbell is also encouraging as many fans as possible to pack out the streets of Manchester next week for Ricky's funeral procession, as he says it's what his dad would have wanted.
He's been speaking to my call.
Campbell, none of us can begin to imagine what you and your family are going through right now. How are you all?
Yeah, we're absolutely heartbroken, as you can imagine. It's so unexpected, and there's so many big plans coming up, so it's knocked us all for six, but obviously we're just trying to be there for each other at the minute, and obviously the outpour of support from absolutely everyone's been amazing, so that's helping us through a lot, but yes, absolutely heartbroken.
To all of us, he was Ricky Hatton, but to you, he was always Dad, and it always looked like you were the best of friends. Tell me about your relationship.
Yeah, we were, like I said, he used to call me a little mini-me. Like I said, we were identical in so many ways, and I think it's shown through how close we were, and the banter we had with each other, and how close we was, but like you say, to so many he was Ricky Hatton, the boxer, but to me he was just my dad, and to the family it's Richard. So it's like we just can't get our heads around things at the minute. It's absolutely awful, but just like I say, it's hard to even explain.
Obviously, he was your hero because he was your dad, but because of his exploits in the ring as well, you must have been extra proud. Yeah,
so proud of it, especially at the minute where like, you see social media and you see old clips from years ago and old memories that people we haven't seen for years, and does it, as much as it's heartbreaking, it brings a smile to our face as well. Especially with my dad being the character he was, when you see even things in the build-up and you see his sense of humour shining through. It does give us a lot of comfort, as much as it is hard going on social media and it constantly being there. There is a lot of comfort to take from it as well.
The tributes to your dad and the love and support for you and your family has been incredible. What has that meant to you all?
Yeah, it's meant a lot to us. My dad, and myself, I had no choice in the matter, but die-hard Blues from day one. So to go Manchester City on the weekend and seeing the girls all with the city tops being mascots, and they just went above and beyond for us. The banner, the flag they had up as a tribute for my dad, it means the world to us all as a family, so we can't thank them enough. and also die-hard Oasis fans, all of us, and Noel and Liam doing a tribute, We Live Forever. So again, it's like, couldn't ask for any more. The support we've had from everyone's been unbelievable.
It's obviously rocked the country, it's rocked Manchester, but this community of Hyde as well is shattered, and they've given you huge support as well, haven't they?
Yeah, we have. There's been absolutely all sorts. There was a balloon release at the gym where there was hundreds there. Everywhere you go, I think the mood's just a little bit low everywhere in Hyde. There's been a lot. It's been a tough few weeks for us as a community, and like I say, everyone's sticking together and getting each other through it. But all the support we've had has given us a lot of comfort, and hearing all people's tributes on their memories of my dad is helping us a lot. So just thanks so much for the kind words.
We now know the route for the procession. What would it mean to you and your family to see the streets of Manchester packed with people for your dad next week?
Yeah, that's exactly what he'd have wanted. He sees his biggest achievement in boxing as his fan base, and that's what he was the most proud of with it. What he'd want would be the streets filled of people. They're celebrating his life and showing respect. So that's what we'd like to see. Everyone going there, like doing their bit and having their part of the day, because everything he did for his fans.
Thank you, Campbell.
Thank you.
And you can find full details of that procession, which is a week on Friday, on our website, itv.com/Granada. Yeah, tough times for the family, and wishing our very best to Campbell and the rest of the Hatton family.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ricky's fans will do him proud and turn out in their thousands for his funeral on Friday. Well, next, and let's catch up now with a story that we've been covering all this week. The Rochdale predators who assaulted 2 young girls over the course of 5 years.
Yeah, the grooming took place in the early 2000s, and the victims, now adults, have spoken of the lasting impact the abuse took on their lives.
Well, today, justice finally caught up with the 7 men, who are all of Pakistani origin and from Rochdale and Oldham, as they were all jailed for multiple sexual offences, including rape.
Tim Scott was in court today as the judge passed sentence. Tim.
Yes, the 7 men in this case today receiving sentences of over 170 years combined for those appalling crimes, some of which were committed nearly a quarter of a century ago. The 2 girls, the 2 victims in this case, were known as Girl A and Girl B, and they were just 13 years old when the abuse happened. The abuse which took place in filthy basements and flats, the back of somebody's car and the disused warehouse. In court today, His Honour Judge Seeley said that both girls were extremely vulnerable at the time, and this made them extremely susceptible to the advances from the men, none of whom have shown any remorse for what they did to those 2 girls. Anne O'Connor now has this report on the background to this case.
More than 20 years ago, they destroyed 2 girls' childhoods with what the judge called incessant abuse. Then they denied it.
Have you ever had sex with a white girl in your taxi?
Sex with a white girl in my taxi? No, sorry.
And denied it.
Miss, I never seen it.
And denied it.
No comment. No comment.
The years of grooming and rape started with Mohammed Zahid, a father of 3, known as the boss man.
Do you recognise that female?
No comment.
Back in 2001, the now 65-year-old from Crumpsall preyed on 2 troubled 13-year-old girls, A and B, giving them free underwear from his Rochdale market stall. The court heard he thought he was untouchable, passing the girls to other stall holders and taxi drivers, plying them with drink, forcing them to have sex whenever and wherever they wanted. Girl B was 14 when she gave birth after becoming pregnant when she was raped by Kazir Bashir. The 50-year-old from Oldham's been given 29 years in jail, but has been on the run since the start of the trial. Mushtaq Ahmed got 27 years for repeatedly attacking Girl B. Taxi drivers Mohammed Shahzad and Naheem Akram got 26 years, and Nazir Hussain 19 years for multiple rapes of Girl A. A 12-year sentence was given to Rahiz Khan for a single count of raping her. The judge said both girls were seriously let down by those whose job it was to protect them. Girl B having been described by social services as a prostitute at the age of 10. Those girls are now women who've been helped by the Sexual Assault Referral Centre, St Mary's in Manchester. 2 decades on, the abuse has ruined part of their lives, but made them determined to change that.
Whatever the outcome in any trial, we've got that support afterwards to make sure that they can process what's happened and then start to look at life after it, because for a lot of people, their life kind of works towards a date. So it's really important to help them look at life after that date.
Greater Manchester Police has been heavily criticised for its handling of past sex abuse cases, but insists the force has changed.
The sentencing reflects the gravity of the offences, and ultimately this is about getting justice for victims who have suffered the most appalling abuse a long, long time ago. So I would hope now that that's restored some faith in GMP and shows that we are committed to victims.
The courts heard how the gang abused and humiliated the girls, then cast them aside. But the women those girls became now have some justice. Anne O'Connor, ITV News.
So, Tim, what's been the reaction from the victims today?
Well, Katie, girl B was in court today and she smiled as those sentences were handed down. Her words were read out afterwards by a police officer outside of court. She said testifying at the trial was the hardest thing she'd ever been through, but now she knows her voice matters because she was believed. The police also read out this from girl A, and we also have reaction from the Crown Prosecution Service.
The jury, finding these 5 men guilty, I hope is going to help me take another step forward to get my life back, as I have already lost my childhood to these men. And now, because of the case, I'm losing part of my adult life, continually revisiting the abuse of my childhood.
None of the defendants have shown the slightest remorse for what they have put the survivors through. By maintaining their denials and refusing to accept responsibility, they force these brave women to relive the abuse they suffered at their hands over a 5-month trial.
Now, as you've heard already, both police and social services knew at the time that the girls were being abused, but they did nothing, and their failure to act meant that the 7 men were free to carry on their abuse of the 2 victims. But both agencies say that today in 2025 things have changed, and that now when victims come forward they will be believed, their abusers investigated and hopefully prosecuted, like the 7 men here in Manchester today. Katie Gamal.
OK, Tim Scott in Manchester tonight. Many thanks.
Well, in other news today, and today marks 1 month since production at its Jaguar Land Rover's plant on Merseyside was suspended after a cyber attack. The car maker has said it's hoping to start production in the coming days, and staff at the Halewood site are due to begin their phased return to work. The government has agreed to support the car maker's supply chain with a £1.5 billion loan.
Manchester's oldest hospice has changed its name as a way to honour its founder. Dr Moya Cole helped launch St Anne's Hospice in Stockport more than 50 years ago now. From today, the charity will be renamed the Moya Cole Hospice as its brand new facility in Heald Green nears completion.
Well, next tonight, and Manchester MP Lucy Powell says she'll fight for the North West at the top table if she's named Deputy Labour leader.
Yeah, the Manchester Central MP is the front runner in the race and is up against Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson for the job after Ashton's Angela Rayner resigned last month. Well, today, the Labour Party conference in Liverpool due to a close with a hustings event between the 2 candidates. Here's our political correspondent, Nisha McNally.
She's the MP for Manchester Central, fighting for a central role in Labour's future. And touring events at their annual conference in Liverpool, Lucy Powell says she won't be afraid to tell the party when it needs to change its tune.
It has been a difficult few months for Labour. I think the transition into government's been difficult and we've not been able to effectively communicate what we're doing and who we're doing it for and why we're doing it. And I think that's why I can help as as Deputy Leader. I want to do this job now outside of Cabinet, but inside every community, every council, feeding that back and being that really strong bridge between what we're doing at the top of the party and how it relates to ordinary people.
Do you see yourself as the natural successor to Angela Rayner?
Well, look, Angela's a great friend of mine and she's a huge loss. I will try and fill her heels as best I can, but I do want to be that strong voice for the North, for the North West, for our region. I will be able to speak truth to power and say when things need to change.
Leader. Until last month, Lucy Powell was Leader of the House of Commons, setting out the daily business of Parliament, and says she wants to use her relationship with backbench MPs to heal divides within the party. Andy Burnham says the party needs wholesale change. Is he right?
He's right that we need a cultural reset here. We've got into a bit of groupthink. We've got to be more authentic to ourselves, and that's really important. And look, Andy's a fantastic communicator. He's a great politician. He's very popular.
Is he better than the Prime Minister at that?
I want to make sure that we use all our talents in the Labour Party to that end of having a successful and really radical and big change Labour government that we can be.
Keir Starmer, of course, did give you the sack. Do you think it will be difficult to have a good working relationship?
I don't know. I think, look, I can really help Keir and I can help the Labour Party to reconnect with our roots, to reconnect with our members, our communities, and make sure that we are making better decisions as a result.
Unlike her opponent, the Manchester MP doesn't have a government job and says she can be a full-time deputy focusing on getting Labour re-elected, a campaign that could turn into a battle. Looking at the current polls, Reform UK would sweep most of your North West colleagues out of their seats in the general election. Do you have a plan to counteract that threat?
Yeah, look, I think the issue with reform is a huge one, but we've got to be honest that we're losing votes to all sides here, and that's why we need to seize back this political megaphone to really set the terms of the debate. Like, what do we think is wrong with this country? I'll tell you what's wrong with this country is deep-seated inequality, people living in insecure existences, and I don't think that immigration is the root cause of all of that. Of course we've got to tackle immigration, but we need to tell that really strong story about what we think is wrong with this country and how the Labour Party is going about fixing it.
If you win, you'll be a full-time campaigning deputy leader. Do you think you'll be campaigning for Keir Starmer by the next election?
I'm going to be campaigning for Keir Starmer, for this Labour government every day that I'm in the job, because we've got to make this Labour government and Keir Starmer as successful as we can, and I'm going to help put my shoulder to the wheel on that.
Today, the two candidates had the chance to set out their stall to Labour members, the only ones with a say in this race. Voting opens next week, so while the party's conference may be over, the fight to shape Labour's future is only just getting started. Leisha McNally, ITV News, Liverpool.
Right, now to football, and it's Manchester City's turn to play in the Champions League tonight as they travel to Monaco in the league phase. Meanwhile, it was a tough night in the competition for Liverpool. They lost 1-0 to Turkish side Galatasaray in Istanbul. The Reds fell behind after an early penalty from Victor Osimhen and then couldn't find an equaliser.
Meanwhile, a huge local derby in rugby league appears to be under threat. Wigan Warriors are due to take on Lee Leopards on Friday night for a place in this year's Super League Grand Final. But Wigan say that the Lee owner, Derek Beaumont, has threatened to pull his club out of the match over their ticket allocation. Lee have yet to comment.
Well, finally tonight, to the cast of a new musical who say it's a privilege to have their world premiere here in Manchester.
Yes, 13 Going on 30 is based on the 2004 film starring Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo about a 13-year-old girl in 1987 who awakens to find herself suddenly 30 years old and living in 2004 as a fashion editor.
Yeah, the stage show is at Manchester Opera House for the next 2 weeks as part of the Manchester Gets It First initiative, which aims to bring more musicals to the city.
Victoria Grimes has been speaking to the cast.
Gotta live in the here and now, gotta make every moment count. When you stand up proud, there's nothing brings you down.
David and Lucy, Matt and Jenna, stars of the show. We've just watched some of the rehearsals now and it looks amazing. There's so much going on.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. It's such a great show. It's so much like colour and light and joy, and we're getting a great response from the crowd every night. They're on their feet. They're singing songs that they learnt 10 minutes ago whilst we were singing.
Everyone will have seen the film. 13 going on 30. You grew up watching it, I'm guessing.
I did,
Yeah.
yes. I had the VHS of 13 going on 13.
The VHS.
She only made one wish,
I hate being 13. I just want to be grown up.
and she woke up 17 years later.
The people who wrote the film have written our show.
We've added so much great music to it.
And you're from this neck of the woods, aren't you?
I am. I feel like I'm
David,
back home. It's nice, a
yeah.
homecoming. I'm staying at my mum's house.
Oh, you're
Cooked
staying
me
at your
dinner, watched it.
mum's?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it's so
interesting.
nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I've got 2 kids at home, so it's
Yeah.
lovely to be the kid for a bit.
Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of 13 going on 30, I'm very much regressing to my 13-year-old self. Mum, please, just move some food. I'm going out.
Every girl loves me all over the hood. I'm all on.
How important is it that shows like this, massive, huge shows, start here and have their first showings here for the audiences in the Northwest? Do you
Well,
think?
listen, I mean, they've had huge success with, it happens first in Manchester, but I mean, amazing shows that have started here and then transferred into West End and then to Broadway and have been
All
enormous.
around the world. Yeah.
But to come to, I mean, this is the theatre I grew up watching theatre, and it's why I fell in love with musical theatre.
From now on, my demand will be I'll start every show in Manchester. Manchester is a great birthplace for new material because the audiences come in open-minded. They're not jilted with I'm coming in to see another show. They line up with this energy, and that's what you're looking for.
Ladies, this is very exciting. You are all from right here in the Northwest. How excited are you to be doing this show?
Very excited!
Dream come true?
Yes!
Because everything is so primarily in London, especially big world premieres and such big musicals, and now we've got the experience to have it at home, and everyone in the Northwest, it's so accessible for everyone to come and see it, and it's just a great opportunity.
And what's the plan for after Manchester? We're hitting the West End, maybe?
We are not the people to ask that question.
Yeah, because we don't know.
We don't know. I think you will be.
Oh, it looks just full of joy, doesn't it? And if it was written about you, it would be 50 going on 15.
Well, I feel 80 working next to you sometimes, Katie, so there we have it. Here's the weather with Louise.
Mum, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, good evening. We had quite a fine, dry and settled day today, 1 or 2 showers here and there, but we do have a change on the way on Friday with the arrival of Storm Amy. It has been named today by the Met Office. We can expect some very strong winds, risk of coastal gales in places, winds gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour, which could lead to some disruption. We also have some heavy rain pushing through with that, so over the next couple of days, please do stay up to date with the forecast. Taking a look at the pressure sequence ahead of Amy, we have a low pressure system pushing through tomorrow, bringing quite a lot of rain at times, some heavy blustery showers. Amy arrives in from the Atlantic into Friday evening, bringing some very strong winds and quite a lot of rain, so do stay up to date with the forecast. Ahead of that, though, staying largely fine, dry and settled this evening. We do have 1 or 2 showers pushing in across the Isle of Man and across northern areas. The winds should stay generally light tonight, coming from a southerly direction, so it will stay fairly mild. Temperatures holding up in low teens and double digits for most places. A fine, dry and settled start for most places tomorrow morning. We do have a few showers pushing in across northern areas, but into the afternoon, patchy cloud and some bright and sunny spells developing. Winds will slowly pick up, becoming quite blustery. That's ahead of rain pushing through tomorrow night. And temperatures holding up in the mid to high teens, highs of 18 degrees Celsius. Not feeling too bad in any of those brighter breaks. Looking ahead then towards Friday, Storm Amy arrives in. The winds will really pick up Friday evening and into the overnight period into Saturday. So do stay up to date with the forecast. The winds will become very strong along the coast with some heavy rain. Saturday looks like a wet and windy day, quite blustery, but the winds will ease off as we head towards Sunday with some drier conditions on the way. That is the very latest. Bye-bye for now.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
So funny, isn't it? I remember being 13 years old and thinking like 30 was ancient, and like now I'm in my 40s, it's like no age at all.
You'd give anything to be 30, wouldn't you?
I would love to be 30 again.
Well, that's it from Granada Reports this Wednesday. I'm here with the late news just after news at 10.
Tomorrow we pay a visit to Brookside Close and catch up with Phil Redmond ahead of the show's return for a crossover with Hollyoaks.
How exciting.
For now, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.